Okay, so let's hit S to scale this cube down, and then hit S to scale it again, and tap our middle mouse button and drag up to constrain this to the Z-axis like this, and then hit G to grab and middle mouse to constrain to bring it up, and then I'm just going to tap Alt Shift and tap the right mouse button, which brings my 3D cursor to whatever I have selected, which is our pole, and then tap Shift A and create a cube. So the reason why I put my cursor there was so I could create the cube perfectly aligned with this pole. Then hit G to grab this cube and tap middle mouse button to constrain it to the Z-axis here and just bring it up. Okay, so to get this to slide along this pole, all we have to do is first click the pole and then tap T to go into our tools, make sure we're in the physics tab, and select add passive. And then we click on the cube and click add active, which gives it collision and to where it can be moved around. And then so we just select back on the pole, shift select the cube, and under constraints, click where it says connect, and under type we're just going to switch that to slider. And then when we press play, nothing happens. And if nothing's happening whenever you add one of these constraints, it's usually because of the direction of the arrows, which convey how the motion is going to go. So it usually means we need to move these. So usually I have no idea which direction these need to be moved to go in the direction I want it to. I'll just usually experiment with it. So I'm going to go ahead and tap 1 to go into front view, and then select the arrow sticking out there, and hit R to rotate it, and Control to constrain it, and just bring that to 90 degrees down like that. Then we'll hit play again, and we'll see that the slider is working. So I could then tap Shift C to move my cursor back to the center point, and tap Shift A and add a plane, hit S to scale, and I could click add passive on the plane to give it some physics there and to make it stuck into 3D space. And then so we click play again, and the cube falls to the bottom of the plane. And I'll go ahead and tap Alt Z to turn on texture mode so I can have some shadows and stuff. If we wanted to give a little bit of bounce to our cube when it hit the floor, say we didn't just want it to, make a dead stop, all we would do is click on the cube, click on the physics tab in our properties here, and under rigid body collision we just bring up the bounciness some, and then we would also want to bring up the bounciness for the floor some too, and then when we hit play we get some bounce there. So that's pretty much how a slider works using rigid body constraints.